What's up, Archons? I'm Flightless Pheasant, and today I want to tell you about all the incredible fun that I had hosting and assisting and running the new player discovery event at my LGS. Guys, it was a blast. We did ours across 4 weeks. It was so much fun, and I cannot wait to tell you about it. But before I do, I'm a huge fan of KeyForge, and if you are too, then please like, subscribe, and hit the bell, as I'll be bringing you even more lore from KeyForge and the Crucible. So we decided to do our new player discovery event across 4 weeks. We decided this before we had our hands on the guidance material, and the guidance material said to do it across 3 weeks, but I just kind of stretched it to 4, and that ended up working really well. Our first week was all about introducing new players to the core rules of the game. I used the Learn to Play guide as sort of a guideline for how to do this, and I took the quick reference section out of the very back of that guide and even printed it out and handed one to each player so that they would have access to a quick reference for some of the basic parts of the rules. I did make sure that we had a few experienced players on hand, but I was surprised to see that about half of our group of 7 was actually new players who'd been playing less than a few months and were really excited to learn more about the game. Week 2 was pretty much just play as many games as you can, and when you find something you don't know what to do about or that's confusing, raise your hand and one of the experienced players will come over and they'll give you some guidance. I think this was a really good week. I'm glad we got to do this one. And then week 3 is the one that I added. So week 3 was all about learning how to register your deck on the Master Vault, learning how to find the Keyforging website for latest news and updates, and a brief overview of what a Vault Tour looks like and what to expect if you want to play tournament level. This also included how to build an Alliance deck, but that wasn't the main focus. We just kind of went over the broader strokes of some of the higher end stuff. And then week 4 was a Archon tournament using only Discovery decks. So I had been having people play Discovery decks, and honestly, it's a pretty good set, especially for new players to get into. The board control's a little weak, and while the Amber generation can be kind of bursty, it's not like crazy out of control, and so the games tend to be pretty close and have a good back and forth. Our tournament was 3 rounds of Swiss because we ended up with 6 players. I was the 7th, and so I had to sit out and judge. And at the end of 3 rounds, we had a winner. Kathy Robbins ended up winning with a 3-0 record, which was incredible, winning her a Amber Skies deck, and then we had one for the runner-up as well. It was super cool seeing new players come out for this event. I know some people were like, I don't think the new players are going to be interested, but like the keychains were really cool. The event was super well structured, and I feel like if you put a little bit of effort into prep, you could absolutely make this a colossal success. Thank you so much to Voss Media Board Game Cafe again for hosting. I always appreciate working with you guys. And man, I just was so glad to see new players come out and play this. And Kathy was a relatively new player, or more specifically, a player who didn't play very much. And she played against some of the best players we had there and absolutely crushed it. It was super cool to watch her just do so good. I think this event was a really big hit. I want to know how your guys' event went, though. How did the new player discovery event go for all of you out there in internet land? Was it good? Was it bad? Did you get new players? Because, man, I was so excited to see new players sit down at the table and show up week after week after week for these ongoing event series and playing games and opening decks. And, man, it was great. And what a great warm-up for store championships coming up here real soon for most of us. Or some of us have already done them. Anyway, that was my experience. Tell me about yours. But until next time, later, Archons.